Okay, everybody. Today we're going to be learning about rounding to the nearest 10. Okay, so we're going to start off with a few numbers on the board. Raise your hand if you can tell me something about these numbers. Rachel. Then that's good. What else? Sadie.
They both have a 1 before, like they both have a 1, like the 10 has a 1 before the 0, and then the 18 has the 1 before the 8.
Right? How are they different? Can somebody raise their hand and tell me how they're different? Cody.
Because there's an 8 and 18, and there's a 0 and a 10.
That's right. Okay, so this one's 8 more than this one? Okay, what about 20? Raise your hand if you can tell me something about 18 and 20. Ella.
The 18 has an 8 and the 20 has a 0.
That's right. Anything else? How are they different? Somebody raise your hand, Gage.
Because in the front, on the 18 they have 1, and on the 20 it has 2.
That's right. Do you know what? Do you know how many more it takes to get to 20 from 18? Raise your hand if you know. Jeff, try again. 2. Okay. Good job. So if it's 18, we might round it to 20 to make it easier. Let's do a video. I'm going to show you a video and it's going to help.
Math Coach presents Rounding to the Nearest 10. We use rounding when we want to estimate. Rounding gives us numbers that are easy to use, like 10, 20, 30, and so on. Rounded numbers help you solve everyday problems where you don't need an exact answer. That's called an estimate. Rounding might look hard, but hey, guess what? If you know how to put numbers in order and can skip count by tens, you can learn to round any number to the nearest 10 with ease. Here are some useful things to know. You can show any number on a number line. Numbers to the right have a greater value than numbers to the left. Every number that ends in the digits 1 through 9 sits between two tens. The nearest 10 on either side of your number is a useful benchmark. And the midpoint is the number that is halfway between the two benchmarks. If the number you want to round is less than the midpoint, round down. If the number you were rounding is at the midpoint or greater than the midpoint, round up. You can round any number in 4 easy steps. Let's see how. Let's round 27 to the nearest 10. Step 1. Figure out what benchmarks to use. Between which two tens does 27 belong? 20 is the lower benchmark and 30 is the higher benchmark. Step 2. Find the midpoint between your benchmarks. That's the number that is exactly in the middle. The midpoint between 20 and 30 is 25. Step 3. Now locate 27 on the number line. You can see that 27 is more than 25. So now you're ready for step 4. You can round. 27 is closer to 30 than to 20. So, to the nearest 10, 27 rounds up to 30. Sometimes the nearest 10 is 0. Let's round 4 to the nearest 10. The benchmarks are 0 and 10. The midpoint is 5. 4 is less than 5, so to the nearest 10, 4 rounds down to 0. And sometimes the nearest 10 is 100. Look at 96. The benchmarks are 90 and 100. The midpoint is 95. 96 is greater than 95. So, to the nearest 10, 96 rounds up to 100.
The only one? Right there.
I just- Okay, so now I'm gonna need a human number line, but I'm gonna draw your name out so it's fair. So if I draw your name out, I'm gonna tell you where to stand, okay? Colton, stand right behind number 10, right here, right here. Good job. Kane, stand right behind number 11, right here. Blake, right behind number 12. Emily, right behind number 15. Bodie, behind number 14. Rayleigh, behind number 15. Allie, behind number 16. Rachel, number 17. Sadie, number 18. Eli, behind number 19. And Kylan, behind number 20. I just knew it. Okay, you guys are gonna be helping. So I need number 20 and number 10 to hold up your paper plate. Show it to the class. There we go. Okay, so let's pick number 12. Pick yours up. Who is number 12 closest to? 10 or 20? Raise your hand if you know. Chaser, how do you know? Well, how do you know? It is, it's really close. It's like 1, 2 away. So that means we're gonna round it to 10. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We round our numbers so it's easier to add. Okay? Now put yours down. I want you to keep yours up, okay? Now let's do number 16. Pick yours up. Which one is this one closer to? 20 or 10? Raise your hand if you know. Gage.
20,
20, how do you know?
because it's only 6 away.
It's only 6 away? 3. Can you count? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only 4 away. But it is close. We would round it to 20. That's right. Okay. You can put your Now what about number 15? What are we gonna do about that one? It's right in the middle. Are we gonna round up or round down? Who thinks they know? Raise your hand. What do you think, Spencer? Okay, I have a rule for this. If it's 5 or more, let it soar. If it's 5 or it's 4 or less, let it rest. So that means if it's 5 or anything up here, we're gonna round it up. Oh, round it up this way, sorry. And then if it's 4 or less, we're gonna round it down. So we're gonna say that together. Say it after me. 5 or more, let it soar. 4 or less, let it rest. Okay, say it to someone beside you. Let somebody say it. 5 or more, let it soar. 4 or less, let it rest. Okay, so what are we gonna do about 15? Is it gonna go up to 20 or is it gonna go down to 10?
It's up.
What do you think, Jason? 20, good job. Okay, everybody go back to your seats now.
Okay.
Thank you guys, you were so good. Okay. There we go. Okay, so everybody open up the new books to page 8. We're going to do this together, okay? Do this one together.
I literally just opened it and it was on page 8.
Is everybody there?
Yeah.
Okay. So we are going to round 26 to the nearest 10. On this number line, what is 26 closest to?
30.
It's 30. Good job. So you know how to round, don't you?
Yeah.
Good, okay. So you can write it in right there, 30. And then see, this represents 30 right here too. And the 10s, and in the ones place, there's 3 10s. Good job. So what you write it in right there too, right here. Yes. Okay, we're still going, okay? You can write in 30. See, 26 is so close to 30, we're just gonna round it to 30. We're gonna change the whole number, okay? Write 30 in right there and 30 right there. Okay, now what about 29? Is that closer to 30 or 20?
30.
30, how do we know?
Because it's just one way.
That's right, so we're gonna round it up to 30.
So
So you get to write 30 right here, okay? That's easy.
Good. Looks like it's easy because it looks like a right hand.
Yeah.
Put it by the nearest 10.
By the nearest 10, good job. Okay, what about 25? That one's in the middle, what do we do?
30. Let it be. 30.
Yeah, we let it soar, good job.
Let it soar.
5 or more, let it soar. 4 or less, let it rest. Good job. So 25, we're rounding up to 30 to its nearest 10. So we write 30 in right there. Yeah, right there. Right there. Give me that thing. Right.
And you press the pink button.
Come here.
And then you press the pen.
Thank you. 30. Okay, now what about 21? Allie, which one?
20.
20, why do you think it's 20?
Because it's just one away from 20.
Good job. Everybody, put 20 in right there. Everybody got that? Okay,
Yeah.
now, how would you round 236 to the nearest 10? That one is tricky because it's 236. Okay, where is the tens place? Raise your hand if you know. What is it?
The middle.
The middle, okay. So, what do we do? How do we round up? If we're looking at 36, what are we gonna round it up to?
246.
240. We just round it to the nearest 10. So its nearest 10 is 40. I'm just gonna change it to 240. Does everybody understand that? Yes. Okay.
We're at 240 in the bottom.
Yep, 240 right down here. Because 240 is the nearest 10. We don't change the 100 because it didn't ask us the nearest 100. Right, okay, good job.
Where did my
Okay. Do we think we can do the next page by ourselves?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No?
Yes, you know how to
Let's do one more together,
No,
okay?
I want to do mine by myself.
We'll do one more together and then we can do it by ourselves, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
You have to take off the pen, I think.
Okay.
No, hit
No, you have to
Oh,
hit the X.
okay, okay.
And then you turn the page right there.
What about that? There we go. Okay.
Yeah, you
Oh, it's not the next page yet.
hit the X and then you hit that.
You guys are so smart. Thank you for helping me.
It's a little confusing.
It is a little
get it right the first day either.
Okay, now number 4. So we're dealing with number 46. Where's that at on the number line? Right here?
Closer to 50.
How do you know it's closer to 50? Spencer, what do you think? Is it closer to 50 or 40?
It's only closer to 40.
It's closer to 40. How come you think that?
Wait, 50.
It's closer to 50 because it's only 1, 2, 3, 4 away from 50.
4 more away.
Okay, now do we think we can do it by ourselves?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, y'all can start. I'm gonna come around and see how you're doing, okay? Sound good?